Hi, this is Glenda. It seems that transfer foil is going to make a comeback according to what was being shown at CHA, and Bokeh is also very much in, and I recently got this sheltering tree stamp from Stampin' Up, and so I put the whole lot together and I've come up with this. So it's a Bokeh foiled sheltering tree using that Stampin' Up stamp, and I sort of think of it as sheltering tree all grown up. So I'll show you what I've done. To start with, you need a background. Oh, I can't believe this is still damp. Anyway, I made it yesterday. You can do your background by sponging, by putting down re-inker or ink on your mat and spritzing it and dragging it through. You could use watercolour, anything to get down a sort of a multicoloured darkish background. So once you have your background, you want another probably lighter ink, and I'm using distressed tumbled glass just because that's what's on my desk, and these are the leaves from the sheltering tree. So we can ink it up well and just stamp onto the background, and I might even go one shade darker. I wasn't quite sure. I used a broken china on the other two, because you can make your background any colour you like. I chose blues for behind the tree, but you could equally have greens or purples or anything that takes your fancy, because it's all a bit of a fantasy tree. And this gives us some sort of bokeh spots on our background. Which I think is quite cool. So it just sort of adds to the speckly effect. Just clean this off a bit. And then you're going to have some white ink. Now, if you've got a white ink that you like, great. I don't. This is just some white gouache water paint on a little sponge. And yes, it's still damp enough from yesterday, which is good. So you can use paint or you can use ink, but we're just going to add some white spots. Still using the leaves from the tree. And you can make the effect as thick or as light as you like. Every one of these, of course, will turn out different, just because of the methods used. I'd be surprised if you could get too many that look the same. Because I've used paint, I would normally go and put this straight under the tap and wash it off properly, but I will do that when I've finished. Now, for the next step, you really want to make sure this is dry. I'm just going to use Christina Werner's trick of putting embossing powder on it, and if it sticks, you know it's not dry enough. And that's sticking a bit, so we'll keep drying. Let's try that again. It's still just got a couple of damp spots. And it's getting hot. It's going to be 33 here today and humid, so I really don't want to be using my heat gun. Okay, it should be right now. It's not bad. It's just a funny little bit here that doesn't want to dry. Decide which way up you want it. I think we'll go that way. And I'm going to put the embossing powder sachet anti-static bag thing over it, and find my Versamark and my trunk stamp. Now I've got a nice and juicy Versamark, I re-inked it, and we're going to stamp it on, and you want to squish more than you normally would. Like if I squished like this normally stamping, I'd end up with a distorted image, but for this you want to make sure it's really got some coverage. And then I have some this is Stamp and Bond, any of these embossing powders that go sticky. Don't shake it off too vigorously. And with this you heat it just till it changes and no more, so it's literally a few seconds. Because if you overheat it, it just will not be sticky. You know. This is transfer foil. It's not the same as gold leaf or anything. It's designed for using, I mean, printers use it. And I actually got this at a recycle place that was leftover printing foil. So we're going to put that down on the sticky bit, get the bone folder, rub that over. And the magic happens. And we just reheat that to finish off the powder. Which brings it out a bit more. Let's give it a shake to cool it. And then we're going to take our leaves again and ink them up with Versamark. And do the same thing, you want to push it down really well. heat this one again just till it turns. And I should have a gold piece. As you can see, this has been used before, but I'm just going to put it down. Because it's been used before, I'm going to want to put it down more than once. Just get all the bits that got missed the first time. And maybe one more. And heat it again. Actually, I might just get rid of that little stray bit. And that's it. Then you can trim it down and make it up into a card any way that takes your fancy. So that is the sheltering tree does bokeh and gets foiled. So hope you like that, and thanks for watching.